There.
Safe.
Now you're unmuted.
Hooray.
Thanks, Melissa.
So we got Mike Rowley, Paul Frazier, Rob Taylor, Tracy Pierce. It doesn't show all of them at one time. So you got to scroll down through it, which I don't care for. Can you see them all at once, Bobby?
No, I have to scroll through too.
Okay. That's a problem.
Jerry, you're on now, so.
We are? Ready? Well, welcome to Board of County Commissioners meeting for November 15th at roughly 9:32 or 3. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, we will have citizen comments last. We're going to start with 3A, request approval amendment to IGA 1695506 with Oregon Health Authority and authorized chair to sign Coos Health and Wellness. So who's presenting? Is that Mike Rowley or Eric Gleason? I can't hear either one of them. And Mike Rowley's on.
Sorry, I was
Mike,
muted. That will be me, Bob. Mike.
Did anybody hear me, actually?
We can all hear you.
Okay.
Mike is,
I can't hear
present.
Melissa, though.
You can't hear me?
Nope.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear John either.
I'm unmuted. Is your sound on?
Oh, technology is wonderful, isn't it?
I don't think his sound is on.
No, I don't hear you, Melissa. You obviously hear me, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes,
hear you
we can all
fine.
hear each other.
And I don't hear John either.
I think your sound is off.
You got to turn the sound up on your computer.
Oh,
Everybody else.
duh.
Hear everybody.
We-
Now talk, John.
Yeah, I hear him. All
I
right.
was beginning to think it was ear damage due to excessive shotgun shooting.
Yes, those pheasants got the better of me. So who's presenting 3A? Is that Mike Rowley or Eric Gleason?
Yes, that's me, Bob. Mike.
All right, thank you, Mike.
So this is the amendment number 2 to the public health IGA, and it is for our public health programs. Actually, the majority of the money we actually already have is rollover funds from last year for the COVID response. And then there's some bridge funding that was given to us for a couple of the programs that we're getting the remainder of the funds for.
Okay, so I have a motion.
I move approval.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, now for discussion. We've had a lot of emails, texts, etc. about this. Is any of this money going to Waterfall Clinic in any shape or form?
No, it isn't.
Somehow that got started and took off like a wildfire. And
Yeah, I have no idea either. And, you know, the
to
thought was,
repeat again, none at all, right?
yep, none at all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mike, can you tell us about the new programs, though, that are included?
There isn't any new programs.
Okay.
Just existing rollover mostly, correct?
But yeah, over $1 million was rolled over from last year that we already have. And
And this
then some of it was like gap funding they gave us at the beginning for 3 months, and now they're giving us the remainder funding for those programs.
Well, that's good. So it's all going to Coos Health and Wellness.
Correct.
Okay. Any other discussion about this item? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All righty, 3B, request approval of contract with RHR Heating, authorized director to sign.
Yes, this is a request to buy an HVAC system from RHR Heating. We actually started this process April, May, and we were hoping to get it done earlier. And I don't know if it's because of COVID, it was just hard to get it moved and we weren't getting responses back. Recently, there was a question about natural gas. I did talk to both Pacific Natural Gas and RHR. They said that Pacific Northwest Gases, they work with RHR. One of the people wrote up something about what it would take and gave it to Tracy at Natural Gas, who talked to Julie at RHR. There will be no residential incentives, and they said the cost would be prohibitive to install natural gas.
Thanks for following up on that, Mike. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I received an email from Northwest Natural about it.
And
Yeah.
the cost you're talking about is not the air conditioning or heating system itself, but the pipeline, gas pipeline to connect the
That is my
main line to the
understanding.
residents
Yes.
or to the building.
And I did talk to Mike Hagan as well, and he preferred electricity if at all possible.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I move we approve the contract with RHR Heating LLC and authorize department head to sign.
Okay,
I'll
second.
second.
Any other discussion about this?
Well, and then Mike, you had clarified for me, you did get 2 bids, but one did not include the electrical work or the permits.
Correct. So, and that's the one we're going with, which includes the electrical. So it will all be done through the one bid.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All righty. 3C, request approval of MOU with Goose Watershed for Larson Slough Tie Gate. And road master, et cetera, Mike Rowe or John Rowe, is he on?
Nancy's muted.
Oh, he's muted? Okay. John, you're muted. John Rowe, that is.
There you go. Now you got me unmuted. So
There you go.
Morning, John.
I'll just say, good morning. This is a MOU with the Coos Watershed with the County Public Works. This is for the replacement of the Larson Slough Tide Gate. So this will establish the terms and conditions in which the entities will collaborate on the planning, design, and permitting. So this
Okay.
process, the plan is though, so you know, is to get the tide gate unattached from the bridge. The bridge has got problems with one of the abutments, and they're going to move it upstream a little bit is the plan. So it's actually going to help us repair the bridge if they can get the tide gate removed from the bridge and moved upstream a little bit. So
Okay. Motion, please.
I move we approve and sign the MOU with Coos County Public Works and Coos Watershed Association regarding Larson Slough Tight Gate.
For a second.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
I just want to thank John Rowe for his efforts in putting this together. This has been a big problem. The tight gate is not working apparently as well as it should, and it can't work on it without working on our bridge. And so getting this moved is a big benefit to the county.
Righty. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All righty. 3D, request approval to hire maintenance worker 4 at step 3. John.
okay. Yeah, we did our interviews for maintenance worker 4, and we went to hire Chance Hubbard. He's got 5 years experience already running equipment and excavator. He's got 5 years experience on roads. So we'd like to move him from a step 2 to a step 3 to start, because he already meets the qualifications of a maintenance worker 5. So we just want to get him in the door.
Okay. Motion, please.
I move we grant permission to start Chance Hubbard at step 3 of pay scale 804 due to his experience.
Okay, second, please.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All righty, 3E, request approval to hire fleet service 3 at step 3.
Okay, this is Sean Taft. He's another very well experienced employee. We'd like to move him up. He's got 15 plus years working on heavy equipment and 10 years as an auto mechanic. So he's well qualified for the Fleet Service 3 and he'll be a good addition to the shop. He can work on just about everything we got. So we'd like to move him up to step 3 also.
All righty, do I have a motion?
I move we grant permission to start Sean Taft at step 3 of pay scale 809 due to his 15 years experience with heavy equipment, mechanicking on heavy equipment, and 10 years of automotive experience.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All righty, 3F, request approval to purchase scanner, District Attorney Paul Fraser.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. We have a scanner that we've been using for years to help scan documents, both for e-filing in court and also for discovery purposes. It has gone the way of the ghost. IT has tried to repair it. It just can't be done. We need to replace it. And so I brought this proposal to you. You'll note that the price is, well, they offer a warranty above and beyond, which is about a third of the cost. And I don't know if we need to go for the high end of this thing. But anyway, we need to replace the scanner so that we can keep up with our obligations, not only in e-filing, but also with discovery of documents to the defense.
Okay, well, I guess for motion, we have to decide whether we're gonna do the warranty or not too, besides the scanner.
Well, for discussion purposes, I'll move that we approve the acquiring the scanner for $2,681.84 and go with the district attorney's recommendation to forego the 3-year warranty.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion about that?
I mean, that seems like an excessive amount, so.
Yes, it does.
It just seems way too high for me. And my experience has been with these things is you buy the extended warranty and you never use it. So.
Right. Or it doesn't cover the things you need it for.
Yeah, on electronics, generally, if it goes out in the first few weeks or a month or so, it's under the basic warranty anyway.
Right.
Generally happens, and then if it's longevity, nothing really happens to it for quite a while. Okay, any other?
Warn Paul, if you need it, we're going to send Bob over.
Oh, please.
I'm good with it. All right, any other meaningful discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, team, moving on to 3G, request ratification of director's signature on 21-23 BOCA grant award and approve resolution 21-11-225B, making additional appropriations to CVA. Is Helen on, or is the district attorney taking this?
I don't see either one of them.
Don't see either one of them on there.
Well,
Well, I'll take a crack at it. I move we approve resolution 21-11-225B, adding appropriations of $2,704 to the Crime Victims Assistance Fund and ratify director's signature on the grant award.
I'll second.
All righty. Any discussion about that? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, 3H, request approval to hire juvenile court counselor at step 3. Brian, are you on? Oh, that's right. He had a meeting, so I told him I would take this. They advertised the vacant position for counselor, and Ed Jacobson was the most qualified applicant that they found based on the experience with their office and his current pay. He requests the board permission to start Ed Jacobson at step 3, pay grade 418, effective November 1, 2021, which reflects an increase of $151 a month. So
Do we have a resolution?
knowing all that, do we have a motion?
I move to approve resolution 21-11-218P.
Okay, second, please.
Second.
All righty. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right. 3I, request approval of Corrections Secretary 2, job description and filling the position Community Corrections. Is Mike on? Okay, Mike, please.
Good morning.
Good
Morning, Mike.
Here to ask the board for permission to approve the Corrections Secretary 2 position description and to fill that position. The person that's been in that position is retired and is going to be completely done at the end of December. This funding source is a state grant and aid. Ask the board to approve the position description for the Corrections Secretary 2 and to fill that position.
Motion, please.
I move we approve the job description for Community Corrections Secretary 2 and fill the position.
Ready to do a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion about that?
Do we need a post and fill, or is that just assumed?
What's that, John?
Oh,
You already did
seems like
that.
we normally say post and fill.
Yeah,
Advertise.
advertise, post and fill, yeah. All righty, so all in favor, aye.
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 All right, 3J, request approval of order approving vacation 21-003 HUPPA, HUPP, and Korea planning. Jill.
Morning.
Morning.
So this, in the matter of vacating a portion of a platted alley located between lots 1 through 6 and 27 through 32 of block 31 of the amended plat of Boise Addition subdivision in Coos County, Oregon. The order to adopt is order number 21-09-062 PL.
Okay, motion, please.
I move to adopt order 21-09-062 in the matter of the vacation of a portion of platted alley between lots 1 through 6 and 27 through 32 of block 31 of the amended plat of Boise Addition subdivision, Coos County, Oregon.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
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 All righty, 3K, request approval of order approving vacation ordinance 21-004.
Yes, so this one is in the matter of vacating a portion of South Cedar Point Road, which is located off of Oregon State Highway 42, north of the city of Coquille. This was this was submitted by Roseburg Forest Products. They have worked with all the abutting owners who have consented to this to provide easements and maintenance agreements. So we're requesting that you approve this. It is order number 21-09-063 PL.
Hey, motion, please.
I move to adopt order number 21-09-063 PL in the matter of the vacation of South Cedar Point Road.
Second.
Second, okay, discussion?
Does this
Hearing none,
require
What?
public notice?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, does this require public notice?
This does not require a public notice because it's 100% sign off by abutting property owners.
Okay, thank you.
So it only requires notice of the meeting to adopt.
There was some discussion earlier a month or two ago about cutting off the fishermen from going down there and fishing on the riverbank. However, once they leave the county road, they are trespassing on private property to get to the water edge. I think that argument is a bit invalid. Any
That's
other
correct.
discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. 3L, discussion of fair maintenance funding, Commissioner Sweet.
Yes, I'd like us to consider providing some funding to the fair out of our government COVID money. As we all know, the fair has skimped over the years, and in order to put on a decent fair, we've neglected maintenance and a good number of safety issues. And as you also know, we have realigned our maintenance of the fair and provided that county maintenance is the primary source of maintenance for the fair facilities, taking away then the maintenance position that the fair once had. I think to make that function well, we need not only to provide some money to the fair to work with so they can bring their facilities up to standard, both for appearance and for safety. And we also need some extra money to do that with. I would like us to consider granting $100,000 additional funding to the fair for this year. Next year, $75,000, and thereafter, throughout the period of time that we are receiving federal money, another $25,000 per year to accomplish this. Along with this, when it comes to prioritizing what needs to be done at the fair grounds, our county maintenance department will be given the authority to move any safety issues that they deem necessary to the top of the priority list. The fair board and maintenance and I will work together to come up with a division of responsibilities there so that we won't have arguing over who's responsible for what. The fair will still be responsible for some routine maintenance of the grounds, such as mowing, or at least in part. But safety-related issues will be given to the county maintenance staff and to be funded out of this part of the budget. So we're not taking away from our ability to put on a decent fair. Incidentally, I'm very proud of the work this fair board has done in upgrading the fair. We've noted marked increases in attendance over the last several years, and it's put us on a good track as far as our fair goes, I think.
Sounds good to me. Any other discussion?
I'll add to that a little bit. We've not had a chance to meet yet. I'm suspecting, there might be some difficulty in gearing up to get the full $100,000 spent the first year. If we're not able to do that, I'd like to make sure that we can carry that over to the following year. It's more a matter of manpower rather than need.
So is this for discussion only today, or are you actually wishing to have this as an order?
I think I just want a green light to go ahead and work out some of the details, and I'll come back if I have assurance. I don't want to bring it up to the fair board unless I have reasonable assurance that the Board of Commissioners will approve it.
Well, for
Like-
me, the fairground certainly needs it. Some of the buildings are, I noticed, rot and different things that need to be taken care of before we have major problems with some of those buildings.
I have visited with the treasurer, and she assures us that there's money available to do this with.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea too. I think you should move forward with it.
Okay.
And, you know, if we can have it on our next agenda or whatever, that's great. And I don't have any problem with carrying those extra dollars over next year.
I think
if they're
that
not-
gives us the most flexibility, and
Mhm.
I want to give Melissa credit for this thought. She recognized that bringing the fairgrounds back into shape, both for just the way they look and the way they function and for safety, is generally beyond the financial ability of what we generate from the fair itself. So she felt it was appropriate to for the county to step in and provide some money to do this catch up. So
Okay. So, sounds good. You'll bring it back and with more details.
unless you want to form a motion now, we can do it now if you're comfortable with it, or I can come back with better detail.
I
Do
think
we
we'll
have
have to
an
do an order.
Pardon me, Melissa.
I think we'll end up having to do an order because Megan's going to have to appropriate funding
Oh, okay.
into it. So
And do we know the 100 would take care of it for the first year and the 75 thereafter? Can maintenance?
Well, it's 70, it's 100 the first, 75 the second, and 25 thereafter.
But
Uh,
did maintenance give you an idea of what the costs were for the repairs and the upgrading?
Their numbers were less than that, so I don't know that a detailed study has been done. So that's what I want to come up with.
Okay. All
But
right.
I don't want to get Fair Board's expectations up and then say, oh, by the way, we decide not to do that.
So is putting it on the agenda for next time?
As soon as we get the information worked out, yeah.
Okay. All righty. All right.
I
Thank
get a
you.
green light to go ahead.
All righty. That sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Motion for
Thanks, John.
consent.
I move we approve the consent calendar.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Late agenda items? None?
None.
Commissioner Sweet, you have a late agenda item? Or late?
No, sir.
All righty. At this time, citizen comments. Do I see any raised hands? Rob Taylor has his hand raised or not?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Taylor. Citizen comments, Rob Taylor? Is he trying to get unmuted or something?
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
There you go.
All right, guys, this platform is just lousy to have a public meeting on, and I imagine a lot of people just can't figure out how to download it. I'm pretty computer savvy, and I was having difficulties with it. Bob was having difficulties with it, and I think we need to get back to personal in-person meetings, because this is really ridiculous the way we're doing this. And I didn't hear a question that should have been asked of Coos Wealth and Wellness. I mean, Coos Wealth and Wellness. They should have asked the question, does any money from Coos Health and Wellness go to the Waterfall Clinic? Because they are listed as a provider. And that was never mentioned, even though the 1.5 million that was going from the Oregon Health Authority going to the Coos Health and Wellness, even though that money may not have directly gone to the Waterfall Clinic, I do believe that the Waterfall Clinic has a place in the budget in Coos Health and Wellness where they get money from them. And I do believe that Coos Health and Wellness have some regulatory oversight of that a nonprofit agency. And the fact is that Waterfall Clinic is taking a bus around to the schools and allowing kids between the ages of 15 and 18, under the age of 18, to get shots without having to give permission to their parents. And once again, you people are in charge. You're the three people in charge who should be making sure that children have to get permission from their parents before they are getting these shots. We don't know what's going to happen with people down the road, and it's not right that parents are not being allowed to be involved with their children's health care, but yet those same parents are going to be responsible for any adverse effects that happen to these kids if something happens after they get the shot. And that's something I think we need to consider, because Coos Health and Wellness definitely has a place dealing with the Waterfall Clinic, and the Waterfall Clinic's the one is bringing that bus around to all the schools and giving those shots. And that was the big problem, and that's what people were contacting you about. It wasn't that the 1.5 was going directly to the Waterfall Clinic. It was going from the Oregon Health Authority to Coos Health and Wellness, and then eventually at some point other budgetary items will go to the Waterfall Clinic. It may not be directly from this 1.5 million, but it will be taken out of the budget. And I think you people have a fiduciary responsibility and a responsibility to the parents to make sure that kids under the age of 18 are not receiving health care without their permission. And this is the problem with socialized medicine. Socialized medicine takes the parent out of the control of their child's health care, and it puts that control and that authority under the government. And as you can see, the government doesn't do a very good job of health care. And once again, we need to get back to live meetings. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. I looked through the budget really quickly. I don't see where there's a line item for Waterfall Clinic.
Are you saying they receive no funds whatsoever from?
I don't know. I don't say that. I say I'm looking through the budget here and I don't see anything for a line item for Waterfall Clinic. There might be, but I'm not seeing it at the moment.
I'm willing to bet it's there. And once again, I bet they have regulatory authority.
All of our treasurer, Megan Sims, and ask her if she can find it for me.
Thank you, Bob.
If it's there. And I'll get back to you. Anybody else want to have public comment?
It's not public, but I would just like to say, for a matter of clarification, and this is something that we have talked about for years, anyone 15 years or older in the state of Oregon is entitled to consent or refuse to consent to their own medical care. That means all sorts of medical care, including mental health treatment, vaccinations, prescriptions, sexually, why have I just lost the word, birth control, all of those things. And that has been Oregon state law for as long as I can remember. If people are concerned about children accepting vaccinations or not accepting vaccinations under the age of 15, that is over the age of 15, that is our state law. And I just want people to understand that if Waterfall Clinic is giving any sort of vaccinations to people 15 years or older, they are following state law.
All righty. Okay, moving on. Any other comments?
Tracy Pierce.
Tracy Pierce has her hand up apparently. Tracy Pierce?
Hi, I would just like to say thank you so much, commissioners, for taking the time to investigate the natural gas aspect for the Coos Health and Wellness Center. And I would also like to say thank you, Melissa, for your comments regarding the age 15 and older. We do have to be careful, and we want to make sure that we are following the laws of the state when we're doing these things, and not just personal opinion, but that might be out of line. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Tracy, thanks for bringing the natural gas issue to our attention. I actually didn't realize there was natural gas available over in that area. And even though we weren't able to do that this time, the county does have a pipeline, and we appreciate the opportunity to check and see if it's an appropriate spot for natural gas.
Did I hear
I
right?
would be more than happy to supply some maps for you guys. Just
That would
let
be
me
very
know.
helpful.
Well,
We can always use them.
the gas line was too far away?
The gas is directly across the street.
Oh, okay. All righty. Unlike in my neighborhood, it's a block away, so nobody else wanted to go in on it, so I could use the natural gas at my residents?
We're currently working on a proactive main over in the neighborhood between Pine and Broadway in the North Bend area. So, you know, maybe we'll be doing proactive mains in your area sometime. So we'll have to look at that.
How do
That's
those
you.
get,
from
I'm sorry?
Coquille.
how do they, sorry,
Go ahead.
how do they get selected, Tracy? Because I think we would all like to help if there's some way we can.
Certainly. One of the ways that they look at is they collect information when individuals will call in and request notification if there is any gas service in their area. And after there's a percentage, so many percentage of homes that have inquired about it, they say, let's take a look and see if that would be a good area to put in a proactive main. So, and we've had multiple, over the last few years, multiple individuals from that area have called in. So we decided it was time. And I'm really happy that we're expanding that and that we have the opportunity to do that in our area. So thank you.
That's terrific. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? I think that's it. Scrolling through them. Okay, commissioner reports. Commissioner Cribbins, Commissioner Sweet.
Go ahead, Melissa.
I did not prepare mine ahead of time this time. I'm getting ready for the Association of Oregon Counties Conference, which starts today or later on this evening in Eugene. I am president this year, and this will complete my presidential duties. I'll be done with my presidential duties as of Friday morning, and Commissioner Murdoch from Umatilla County will take over at that time. So I'm looking forward to handing over the gavel. And John and I were both at a veterans event on the 11th and John read out the county's proclamation, did an amazing job. It was nice to see everybody there and to honor the veterans. And I have been attending a lot of Elliott State Forest meetings over the last 2 weeks because we are trying to pull together a legislative concept to go to legislative council for the state legislature to take action to create a public body to own the Elliott State Forest with management by Oregon State University. There is a hearing at 11 on the Elliott State Forest in front of Representative Marsh's committee, and Representative Brock Smith is also on that committee, and he and I were discussing the committee meeting. But at that meeting, there will be an update on what's going on with the Elliott State Forest, and should be, you know, it's going to pick up more energy as the next few months go on, as there's a legislative concept drafted and everyone tries to figure out exactly whether they got what they wanted out of it or whether this will mean what they need for the long term. I think it's good that we're engaged, but I do think there's still a long way to go to get the Elliott decoupled from the Common School Fund and to increase harvest there. As we've discussed, Division of State Lands did apply for ownership of Shutter Creek facility, which, if this concept all comes together, Oregon State University would use as a research facility for the Elliott State Forest. And that would bring some jobs back to the area and be an opportunity for Lakeside to start getting their sewer fees again that they were concerned about. And that's pretty much been the last couple of weeks for me. A lot of Elliott meetings.
So the Shutter Creek brings to mind, we have that 911 hub up there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully going to be taken into account.
Everybody's aware of it.
Okay.
And we've been repeatedly assured by the governor's office that they will make sure that we have a long-term easement or whatever we need up there.
Okay.
If Shutter Creek does not go to DSL, we're coming up on the end of the deadline where the federal government wants to put it up for sale. I'm more concerned about what happens if it does go up for sale, because we'd want to make sure the easement was in place before that.
Okay. I guess if it doesn't happen, we could put a bid in on it.
We could.
Turned over to the county.
Yeah.
CFPA is also interested in having a site up there.
Yeah, it's one thing to have you know, our radio tower spot. It's another thing to buy the whole facility, which is big and is going to be expensive to maintain. And I don't think we've identified a good use for it other than potentially as the Elliott State Forest Research Facility.
Okay.
That's it.
Great. I'm looking at the camera and my eyes look shut and they're not. I'm going, what the heck?
You said you were tired.
Yeah.
Me next?
Yep.
Yes, please.
Okay. Melissa and I did the annual jail inspection on the 3rd of November, and it looks to me like our jail is in very good condition. Everything seemed tidy and clean, nice. We're still running just one pod, but there's hope we'll move up as soon as possible. Later that day, I provided testimony for the Board of Forestry regarding global warming, or their not regarding global warming, but their proposed response to using the forest to offset global warming. Started. I think there's going to be a pretty strong discussion regarding that issue. Later that day, we conducted Fair Board interviews. Next morning, attended a South Coast Development Council meeting. You know, I think they're doing very, very good work. We support that modestly, and I think we're getting good return on our investment there. They seem to be getting lots of inquiry about businesses locating to this area and local businesses growing, and I think they've proven to be a very good help in that arena. Attended the public health call-in that we have weekly, and our COVID numbers continue to crawl downward, both in terms of new cases and in terms of hospitalization. I don't think we're out of the woods yet, and we need to continue being as diligent as possible regarding spread of the COVID virus. The following week, I attended a Coos Watershed Association meeting. I think we're blessed with a very, very strong watershed association, both in the Coos Watershed as well as in the Coquille Watershed, and good work as well as being done in the lake, the 10 Mile Lake Watershed. Had a meeting on the 10th regarding our gas pipeline. The following day, as Melissa mentioned, she and I attended. Bob was out of town, so he wasn't available for these things, or I know he would have been there. A Veterans Day proclamation prepared by the county, and each of Goose Bay and North Bend as well presented their proclamations declaring Veterans Day here in the county. That evening, I attended a veterans dinner at the Eagles Club. It was very, very interesting, nicely attended, and certainly people there that were proud of their service and proud of the United States for its military, and there were others there to show their appreciation. So it was a very nice evening. The following day, attended a regional statewide transportation advisory committee meeting here in Goose Bay regarding local state highway roads. See, later that day, did some work on the County Forest Trust Land Association budget later that day, and that brings us up to this morning.
Thank you. For me, I was gone mostly. Picked up my son in Billings, Montana, and then we proceeded on to southwestern North Dakota, where we had a wonderful time hunting pheasants. In the downtimes of not hunting pheasants, I was pleased to write a support letter for SOVO for funding for them, Southern Oregon Veterans Association. organization, and fielded numerous information requests from various folks who got a hold of me through email or through my cell phone contact. With that, anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Yeah.